Hey there Commanders, GuardianE here with another skin showcase video for AzurLane. We have a scintillating set of new skins for the Lunar New Year, including a dual form skin for Friedrich der Grosse, as well as Live2D/Live2D pluses for Shinano and Chang Wu. So we are going to be taking a deep dive into each individual skin out of this batch and explore all of the different Live2D interactions that are available in this set. So let's get started and kick things off with the Lucky Bag. So to kick things off, I did end up picking up the Spring Lucky Box 2026A. Kind of waffled back and forth on this one, but it is basically a coin flip to get an animated skin, and I do pretty much want to pick up all of the animated skins, so figured, you know what, let's go ahead and roll that dice, flip that coin. I don't know, it's like I have a gambling problem or something. Just kidding. Alright, and I did get the Live2D Plus from the last Lucky Box, so it could cool things down, like we could get screwed here because of that, or we could have good luck because I had terrible pulls on the actual banners. So, I don't know, we'll see, but let's go ahead and claim, and oh, hell yes! Hell yeah! Not only did we get an animated skin, we got one of the Live2Ds, hello Shinano, embrace upon a melted dream. We agreed to share this mysterious liquor together, yet this one seems to have partaken excessively, though a few drops still linger upon this one's lips, should you crave a taste. Give me a mouthful here. Awesome. And I mean, this just showcases how Shinano is spoiled for choice as far as amazing Live2Ds go. I mean, look at this. We have a little sugar plum here, Fen Yuen, whose skin is full of whimsy. She is an adorable moe blob featuring chubby, pinchable cheeks and a pudgy, pokeable belly. Very, very precious all the way around. Her tiny frame and radiant eyes speak to the current predicament as she tries to fry up some festival treats, shielding herself precariously from the splattering hot oil. It's a charming and loud scene that makes you just kind of want to run in and save her from the dangerous heat. A simple and fun design. Now for Nimi's Spring Festival skin, we step into a sun-drenched room where the bright daytime light pours in through the decorative curtains. It illuminates the scene of deep creative focus. We've got this addition of a bonsai tree on the side, adding a splash of sophisticated greenery to the tranquil atmosphere, making the entire composition have this sense of fresh harmony. Nimi is found in a daring position, down on all fours, as she crafts her tapestry. With an ink brush held firmly in her mouth, she pauses to look back over her shoulder at us, her slate blue eyes sharp, piercing, and full of curious depth. The outfit is chic, a blend of black and white, accented by cute red tassels that pop up against the neutral palette. The thin cloth of her dress drapes elegantly over her rear, following the arched bodyline. It's a refined look that stays true to her studious nature, while providing a unique and new twist to her wardrobe that we've never seen before. Truly, what a thrill it is to get a Graf Zeppelin skin in 2026. It's just sadly unfortunate that the skin isn't animated. It is a static skin. Now, nonetheless, she looks positively gorgeous in this Chinese dress. That is undeniable. She's reclining on this red couch, the lovely traditional lanterns and cityscapes stretching out behind her from the open window. She's brimming with this sultry elegance and fits right into the classy and refined decor of the room. She's lying back with a shot of liquor in her hand, gentle flush across her cheeks, suggesting either a provocative rendezvous, or perhaps she's just nurturing that glow from the alcohol. In either case, beneath her lies a bountiful sea of gray hair, luxurious curls that create a fluffy bed of cozy softness, cradling her perfectly sculpted figure. With one arm raised, she unleashes a view of her smooth underarm and side, while she stretches her wondrous bodyline out on the sofa. The design of her dress is provocative and sophisticated, and a few sizes too small for her decadent proportions. Her buxom chest barely contained from the dress top, the fabric woefully inadequate for the job. The thin cloth from the dress conforms to her dynamite physique, allowing for a peek of her navel through the material. It's covered with lovely and intricate floral details. Along her sides are red crisscross straps that dig into her supple hips, framing her illustrious contours, as the pantyhose stretch over a set of gorgeous shapely legs. And those legs look phenomenal, clad in the dark silky material, outstanding shading that highlights the firm and delicious form of her thighs. It's been a long time coming for a new Graf Zeppelin skin, and we are blessed with this absolutely amazing design, though once again I do lament that it is not an animated skin because it totally deserved it. And next on deck we have Chou's Aroma of Awakening. Let's go ahead and grab this right away. My god. Jesus, okay. You're awake. Judging from your appearance, I wonder if our previous rendezvous has left you unsatisfied? Chou looks jaw-dropping in this new dynamic skin. Her vivacious figure is bathed in the sensual candlelight of a private aromatherapy room. The air thick with perfumed scents and mysterious concoctions, creating this intoxicating and indulgent atmosphere. Chou's dynamic does come with a bonus ASMR mode, much to my delight. Soft, languid whispers of her sultry voice tickle the brain as we're treated to lingering camera views that zoom in on Chou's magnificent charms. Her face mask gives an alluring and slightly dangerous edge to her look that is compellingly sexy. Her pose is terrifically absurd, creating a striking, compact silhouette that is absolute perfection. Her indigo-streaked black hair is pulled up into her hands, elbows raised over her head. This stunning pose reveals the full side of her body line, letting our eyes drink in a profile that is perfectly sculpted and bursting in all the right places. That ravishing red of the outfit serves to highlight each drool-worthy curve. While her hands are occupied, the silky locks of her hair cascade behind and pool beneath her on the floor, creating a lovely contrast against the moonlit glow of her flawless, silky skin. The crimson halter-top design snugly clasps in front of her fulsome, overflowing chest. It's a bold choice that leaves the sides wobbling and exposed, showing off a scintillating amount of side bust. The fabric then tapers down her narrow midriff, before transitioning into essentially just tiny strands of cloth that stretch over her hips. This tiny sliver of material wedges deep into her backside cleavage, highlighting that juicy prime rump. We see a pair of gorgeous legs squashed under the impressive weight of her toothsome backside. It is a mouth-watering display. The subtle animations add kinetic energy and life to the piece, and the bonus ASMR mode hits right at home for me personally. Truly a phenomenal skin and a must pick up for me. Alright, let's check out her animations and quotes here. Log in by sharing this oh my god, what do you... Shinano, my god, what is she doing? We allow our senses to mingle, our minds to meld. Ah, it is too wonderful for words. Let's not use words, Shinano. Let's not. Oh, God. Yeah, some suggestive motion of the ocean there. Main screen 1, unprecedented ecstasy. Will you take the next step, share this bed with me, and weave new dreams together? All about the dreams, running her hands, oh, shifting the legs? And she's running her fingers up and down her thigh, between her legs. Oh, lordy. Main screen 2, phew. This one is not asleep, but savoring your soft caress. Oh, kicking the feet in the air, stretching out the legs too, and a little wag of the finger, and then bringing the palm up. Just so much depth to the motion that she has, the different poses and movement of her arms and legs. Main screen 3, intoxicated, burning with affection. Oh, she's got a little glass. Taking a sip there, this bliss welling up in this one's heart belongs to the both of us. It's a cute little glass. A little shifting of the tails and the arms. Main screen 4, I have left the report here. There are many errors. 'Twould seem that hasty deadlines are not this one's strong suit. Yeah, Shinano moves at her own pace. To rush her is to invite error, I suppose. Main screen 5, vrooms. Oh, did I hit you by mistake? Sincerest apologies. She kind of bobs her legs up and down a little bit there. Okay. Our feelings are joined in perfect union. Just running her fingers down her thigh like that. Special touch. The overlap of these rich flavors is too heady to bear. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is in her hand? What is in her finger? Oh my god! Pulling up the legs like that, and then reaching down? What does she have in her fingers? What was that? Hold on. Hold the phone. What did she pull out? Was that a band-aid? Shinano. Head pat? Do you love this place? This one feels your ecstasy. Oh, the cute little wink. And the tug of the fox ear there. Mission reminder, this task, can it be completed in time? A little point of the finger. Mission complete. As long as you are here, there is nothing that cannot be accomplished. Mail reminder, dismiss not the letters bearing distant thoughts. Where'd that letter come from? Commission complete. The girls on commissions are returning now. 'Twould behoove you to forget them not. Oh. I love the soft, swooshy motion of her tails and her ears. Return to port. This one has waited for you. Oh, how the wind has carried your yearnings to my heart. Oh, God. That zoom and the pan up. Those plump thighs. The wag of the tail. Oh, my. Okay, so it is time to go through the Live 2D interactions of Shinano's skin here. So as far as standard quote-unquote Live 2Ds go, Shinano's is pretty damn robust in terms of the different interactions and toggles that she has going on here. So first and foremost, to kick things off, we'll talk about the different toggle options. So you can actually tap the lamp in the back to turn down the lights. I really like this. Kind of emphasizes the moonlight streaming in through the window, makes it feel even more intimate and alone with Shinano here. But you can toggle that off and on to your discretion. The next thing that you can toggle is actually her tail that's covering her backside. You can tap that to get that pesky floof out of the way so you can fully enjoy the view. And of course, if you tap again, it brings the tail right back like so. And you can tap the strap of her top to disable it like so, or re-enable it. Now, if you do disable the strap to her side, that does open up another interaction. So while her top strap is disabled, if you tap the wooded area, the window in the background, Shinano's tails will pull up to give her a little bit more modesty up top, like so. And once again, if you would like to remove those pesky tails, you can just go ahead and tap, and then she will shift the tail out of the way. So as far as the first series of branching paths for interactions, if you tap her thigh, like so, it'll transition to this pose right here where she has her legs kicked up and is holding her leg up in the air. If you tap once again, she'll pull up the other leg, so she's got both of them over her head like so. And if you tap once again, she'll start to rub her thigh in a very suggestive way. And tapping again, she'll transition back to the original pose. And of course you can do all of that with the tail at her backside disabled as well. Alright, so the next set of interactions requires that the tail by her backside is disabled, so we're going to do that. And then from here, if you tap her foot, she will stick it out and outstretch it like so. Now from here, you have a couple of options. You can tap and drag the other leg to pull down her stocking like so. So you can pull it up and down. You can pull it all the way down to remove it if you'd like to. From here, you can also tap her thigh, her open thigh that's not covered by the stocking. And she'll go ahead and press the stockinged foot up against the camera like so. If you tap her foot, she'll go ahead and stomp. And then if you tap to the right, it'll pan and pull back to the original pose like so. And now if you continue down, there's a branching path here. So from here, if you decide instead of tapping her thigh, you tap her foot again, start to half pull down the stocking like so. If you tap again, it'll completely pull down the stocking. And then tapping once again will bring us back to the stomping, but this time she's barefoot. Again, you can tap the actual foot to get the stomp. And then if you tap to the right, it'll transition right back to the default pose. Alright, so the next sequence also requires that the rear tail is removed. And from here, if we tap the pillow in the back, so the most far left pillow, it'll go ahead and transition to a new scene where Shinano will bust out a body pillow that bears a certain resemblance. So it looks like she's got a commander body pillow here, nestled between her legs. Alright, so from here, if you tap the body pillow, she'll start to rub her legs up against it, like so. And if you tap again, she pulls up close, snuggles up against it, locks her ankles and wraps her legs around it. Now from this pose, if you tap her backside, it gives a little push, a little thrust, if you will. And you can tap it as much as you'd like to. And then if we want to keep moving along, you can tap the pillow once again. She starts to rub up against it, still nestled up there. If we tap again, she starts to rock her body up and down like so with her legs in the air. And then tapping again, we'll transition back to the default pose. Shinano's Spring Festival skin is a masterful execution of her wistful allure. Not only racy, it has this ethereal quality that makes you want to drink in every animation and frame. The setting has this wild and raw energy to it. Scene is framed by an open window, revealing a dreamy, star-speckled sky where sharp, piercing moonlight cuts through the darkness. Golden flecks drift across the crisp night air like glittering embers, casting a luminous glow over the warm and inviting mattress. The ambiance is further enhanced by the light, breathy whisper of Shinano's voice, a sound that tickles the brain and draws us closer. Sensual light lace snugly fits over her impeccable contours, highlighting her marvelously endowed physique. This delicate fabric leaves her enticing side bust, svelte midriff, and lush thighs fully exposed. Gotta love those periwinkle straps, tugging and digging into the supreme softness of her flawless skin, creating this sinfully indulgent view. Shinano has her signature luxurious bed of fluffy tails that billow and flutter with this rhythmic swish-swoosh motion. Her cute twitching fox ears add that whimsical touch to her sultry bodyline, and in her various interactions she bobs back and forth, kicks her feet up, providing a spectacular view of her sublime plump posterior and succulent thighs. Ripe, delicious curves quiver and quake with springy physics that are absolutely world-class. Shinano's latest is a worthy addition to her illustrious wardrobe. It is a phenomenal mix of sophisticated beauty and provocative exposure. It feels tranquil yet steamy, has this rustic charm but also these notes of opulence. Absolutely thrilled that I was able to get this one from the Lucky Bag, because I was going to definitely pick this one up regardless. And next up on deck, we are definitely picking up this gorgeous new Live 2D Plus for Chang Wu in full glory Spring's Branch Blooms. Let's go ahead and secure this one right now. Oh man, oh lordy. Ah, she looks amazing. Serene in this room and pleasing is this plum blossom fragrance, yet, why are you yet to come inside? Here the aroma of flowers is rich, only awaiting the arrival of the spring breeze. Call me the spring breeze, I am ready. Alright, let's take a look here at what we got for animations and quotes for this one. Log in. Which will you embrace, Commander, these plum blossoms or me? I mean, that's a gimme. That's a gimme of a question. I think the answer for that one's pretty obvious. Main screen 1. Which seems more disheveled, the branches by my bed or my hair? Oh, oh, that's so cute. That expression, and then tapping her fingertips together nervously. That's so cute. Main screen 2. Commander, would you say that the scenery before you is worthy of a closer look? And that's underselling it. That's the underselling of the decade right there. Main screen 3, I've guarded these plum branches from dusk till night, such that you might view them, and me as well, of course. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, she definitely has a bit of this cute earnestness to her. Normal touch. Ooh, finger to the face. And then resting on her chest. That technique. Are you trying to polish your favorite jewel? Oh my god, that little jostle there with the arm, yeah, so she is, all about the jade, right? Special touch. Even for an appraisal, this is, oh my. Oh god, oh, Chang Wu, my goodness. Okay, yes, so she gets very excited with the special touch. Head pat. Your hands are always so warm. Oh, she makes the heart gesture with her fingers. It's cute. Her hands. Mission reminder. Commander, there is still some uncut jade waiting for you to carve them. Okay. Is that a innuendo? Mission complete. Mission complete. I'm sure the rewards won't disappoint. Oh, she has a it's just this very gentle smile. Mail reminder. Mail? I hope the jade I ordered came in. All about that jade. Commission complete. Commission team is back. Commander, go and greet them now. But don't forget about the romantic mood in here, okay? Aw, she doesn't want to be left behind or forgotten. Wants to know that we're going to be coming back, and of course we would. Return to port. When I saw the sky getting dark, I knew you'd come back soon. That's really cool with the transition from the back view to the sliding door. Very, very, very nice. So as a Live 2D Plus, Chang Wu has a bevy of secret interactions and customization options built into her skin here. So in order to activate and initiate sort of the branching paths, the very first thing that you would need to do is to tap and drag the side of her gown to the right. So if you tap and drag to the right, you can actually pull it to the side like so. That will reveal a slight curtain up front, like you can see. You can actually tap the center of the front curtain to reveal a little window there, so that's very nice. And you can tap to toggle, so you get an enticing little peek, well, really more than a peek there, to enjoy, which is quite nice. So now that you've pulled part of the robe to the side, that does activate some of the other branching paths. So if you tap the lantern to our left, her right, this will go ahead and create a pose selector. So this has a number of different options available, like you can see. So there's 5 of them total. We're going to go through them one by one, some of them fairly risque. So this first one here, she pulls out a pillow and secures it between her thighs, like so. Now you'll see that there is a little arrow to the left that's now activated, and if I tap on that, it does give different customization options to Chang Wu. So if I tap her head, she can actually have a high ponytail rather than have her hair free-flowing behind her like so. So you have the freedom to change that. The second option here will activate and deactivate the robe that's slipping off of her shoulders here. And then the third option will activate and deactivate some thigh-high stockings. So whatever you fancy, you can choose that selection and combination and get ready to go. So from here, if you tap her or the pillow, she'll start to push and pull against the pillow itself, like so, in an even motion. But from here, if you tap her, she'll react differently. So if you tap her face, she pulls back a little bit. If you tap her chest, she gives a little smile. And then if you tap the pillow again, it'll initiate the next phase. So there is this little mini game here. And if you screw up the timing of the mini game, she'll give a little pouty, disappointed look, and then go back to the original motion. But if you tap and you succeed, and it's pretty generous, you can only have good. She pulls out the red envelope, and she starts to move a little bit more vigorously, as we can see. So that envelope is bouncing in the wind. So if we tap the envelope, it flies off. I guess the implication is that we're taking the red envelope from her from here. So the same taps from the previous phase apply. So if you tap her face, she kind of pulls back a little bit. The red envelope disappears. Tap her chest, and she does a little smile. There, like so. And then if you tap the pillow again, you get a little zoom, little dynamic motion as she finishes her little dance she was doing there. So that's the first, just the first option out of this pose selector. The second option here, like so, she pulls up her legs like this, and if you tap her, she starts to move her feet. If you tap again, she pulls out a champagne bottle and secures it between her legs like so. She starts to rub her calves up against it. We tap again. Starts to move with greater vigor and fervor until the champagne bottle explodes. Alright, so third pose, we can see right here. So from here, the same applies to her head and her chest. If you tap her arm, she raises a finger up at us, like so. Now tapping her left leg, our right, it'll do a little zoom in and get a little smile. If you tap her right, our left, it'll do a zoom, and then it'll actually pan back to the regular default pose. So the fourth pose here, you can see, and through each of these poses, like I said, they have the arrows here, like so. For some of them, the center, the chest area is deactivated because you can't swap once you're already in the pose, but you can do it beforehand. Alright, so from here she has a little cotton ball, and then all of a sudden, if you tap, it explodes into these wrappings that kind of bind her like so. And if you tap her leg, she starts to struggle just a little bit. Just a little bit. God, the way the straps just sink into her chest on the side there is crazy. But yeah, if you tap her, then all of a sudden the bindings erupt, and then you get this little wrist binding and pulling her arms above her head like so, this different pose. And then tapping again, she frees herself and then goes back to the default pose. Now the last, the fifth different pose change and animation from this branch, she starts to hug this red pillow. It is super cute. And if you tap her, you can actually tickle her. She gives a little sneeze when you tap her face. If you tap her backside here, you get a little feather touch there too. You can tap her side here to give her a little tickle as well. And then if you tap her knee, transitions back to the default pose. Alright, so those are all of the branching paths from the lamp. If you tap the wall behind her, where there's sort of the mountains and the clouds against the flat wall, and I do believe that she does have to have the robe pulled aside for this to activate, if you tap back there, it transitions to this separate view, where she just has the, oh god, she has the robe fully pulled up, but she's just looking over her shoulder at us. You can see the silhouette of her body through the transparent thin cloth. So from here you can tap her back to slip the robe down her shoulders, and then we rest our hand on her shoulder. When we tap, we start to give her a soft, gentle massage, like so. If we tap again, slide our hand down her arm a bit. There we go. And from here, if you tap and drag the collar of the robe down, you can actually slip it further down her back, like so. If you tap her back from here, from the shoulder pose, it pans back, pulls down the robe even farther, like so. If we tap her back, we can give her a little back rub. God, what a beautiful angle. And from here, you can freely swap between the arm and the back, like so. You can tap and drag the front of her robe forward to reveal just a bit more. If we tap her forearm, it zooms back up, so we start massaging her upper arm again. And again, to her back. So you can transition freely between all of these, like so. And then the next phase requires tapping and dragging the scenery in the back to her left. So if we tap and drag to the left here and drag down, it will pull the camera down to her backside, like so. Just kind of swishing it invitingly at us. And then from here, if you tap, we give it a nice little smack. And then each time the robe starts to fall further and further, and then we zoom in as it transitions back to the main screen. Chang Wu looks spectacular here, swathed in delicate, dainty robes. Her silver hair cascades like a glacier of silk, framing her beautiful face filled with ample curiosity. The atmosphere is thick with the hazy lighting, where floating sakura petals and the warm glow of lanterns creates this sublime and inviting ambiance. Her paper-thin kimono acts as a semi-sheer veil that teases her flawless porcelain skin, masterfully displays her spellbinding curves with generous, open and exposed windows, while the remaining cloth more than hints at the treasure beneath with every translucent fold. There's this irresistible, velvety plump softness around her belly and delicious thighs. Her body heat creates this perspiration that forms alluring droplets that trickle down her incredible figure. As that kimono slips from her shoulders, it unleashes a physique that is purely captivating. That mesmerizing bust is contained by a single tiny belt that serves as the only clasp holding that kimono together. It threatens to fail against the massive volume of her bombastic bust line. The inviting warmth of her cleavage looks sensational. Tasty midriff is absolutely another highlight, with creamy skin and supple softness that simply looks delectable. Tucked lithely underneath her are a magnificent pair of legs. The secret interactions and customizations creates a whole new dimension to enjoy, in particular revealing the toned, smooth muscles of her slender back and impeccable swell of her sumptuous backside. Chang Wu looks heavenly, with risque elements and temptation abound. The contrast between her icy hair and the warmth of her supple flesh is divine, Truly a standout, and she got the ace treatment certainly for her debut. It's a phenomenal skin and an easy buy for me. Alright, it is time to pick up Friedrich der Grosse's live 2D and dynamic dual form skin. Lingering Flame, let's go ahead and grab it right now. Oh, the glittering, oh my goodness. She looks spectacular. I've heard that in the Dragon Empery, it is customary to give out red envelopes on special occasions. Come hither, my child. Allow me to give you a special gift for this priceless moment. Alright, it's time to dive into the animations and quotes here. Log in. Ooh, that's Zoom. I hear cheery music playing outside. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh my god. Come, my child. Let's share in the mirth together. Oh, raising the arms. Ooh. And then reaching out to us, too. Wow, there's a lot packed into that animation. Main screen 1. What's in the envelope? One could say it's your deepest, most heartfelt desire. Oh, she gives a cute little giggle. Swaps the pose. I love the tassels moving, too, as she leans forward. Look at that. Just so dynamic. Main screen 2. Do you like the decorations tonight? Then isn't there something you should say? Something other than thank you, of course. Ooh, a little glow, a little glint to the pupils there. Got that slightly wagging finger, pointing finger. Main screen 3. Oh my, oh my. Look at those straps, how they're strained as she pulls up and they just tug at her ample chest. Let's play a beautiful serenade together on this night, my child. And just the underarms, the pose, normal touch. You'd like to savor the process of being rewarded this time. Hehe, fine by me. I love her smile. A little giggle. She just runs her fingers across her leg there. Special touch? Yes, that's the spot. Let us celebrate your growth together, my sweet child. Oh, the pupils, the flush, the lean forward. Oh my god, there's a lot there. Okay, there's a lot to unpack. Tugs on the ribbon leash, and we get to stroke her cheek. Head pat. Your reward isn't here. Hee. Well, where is it? Oh, she reaches out to us. That's so nice. Mission reminder. My child, no matter what it is that you desire, I can help you obtain it. Oh, she makes a little heart symbol with her fingers. So nice. Mission complete. Now then, what kind of reward would you like? Oh, raising the one arm with the fingers. Mail reminder. Shall I sing the contents of this message for you? It's sitting precariously in her top there. Okay. Commission complete. We must properly raise the girls who have returned from their commissions. Yep. Very nice. Return to port. Welcome back, my child. Soon you will have your own red envelope. Go on, reach out your hand if you dare. Has it nestled right in there. Oh, golly. Okay. Well, I'm not one to turn down a dare. It seems like oh, and the press forward, the pressing our face basically in there. That's quite nice. Now it is a dual form skin, so of course we've gone through the live 2D animations and quotes, but there is an entire different set with the dynamic. So if we hit the toggle over here, you can see there's this dynamic mode. Let's see if there's anything different here. My child, I am honored to have guided you through this long night. Ooh. Tugs us forward, leading you to greater maturity. Now come and savor this eve's fruits until dawn comes as a gift for your profound growth. Oh, I'm ready to enjoy some fruits. Okay. Log in. What will you explore today, my child, and how will you put it into practice? View details. Even knowing what great accomplishments you've achieved, you're still my dear, sweet child. I'll happily spoil you anytime you like. Right. Main screen 1. Once you're inside, you are to strip. If you feel the cold, then come snuggle in my arms. Here is the warmest of ports for you, my child. I am ready to experience that port. Grosse. Okay. Main screen 2, I'll follow your pace and lead you along the way. Main screen 3, only by maintaining rationality in moments of deep desire can we truly attain bliss. Immerse yourself in my teachings, my child. Okay, normal touch. You're doing well, but you're capable of more. Ooh, the expression change. She's got, looks like beads of sweat, little steamy breath. Special touch. Not bad, my child. That expression is killer. Oh my goodness. Wow. As far as different quotes, because those are the ones that are highlighted. So, return to port. I'd like to sing you a lullaby, but you're still full of energy. For now, I suppose I should satisfy that ambition of yours. Everything is just suggestive and dripping with innuendo. I love it. What's not to love about that? The love quote, my love for you is boundless and it only grows with each passing day. My child, if you have any requests, speak. I am all too eager to please. Yeah, she is ready. She is ready. Alright, so time to dive into the interaction guide for this dual form, live 2D, and dynamic skin. So as a dual form skin, as one would expect, the most premium type of skin within AzurLane, FDG has a ton to offer in terms of different views, different branching paths, different animations, poses, interactions. It really and truly is a marvel to behold. So first, in terms of customization options from the default screen here, if you tap and drag to the left and right from her lap, you can actually create some tears in that slinky red dress. So tapping to the right creates the rips, and dragging to the left reforms the dress, like so. Alright, so the first branching path, if you tap to the left of the screen, the left side of the screen, the curtains will draw to a close, and you can actually see her through the thin red fabric here. Now, also interestingly enough, with the silhouette and the curtain, it kind of acts as a pseudo X-ray vision, so you can admire her kind of full figure silhouette without the dress. And if you tap and drag at the enclosure point of the curtains, you can actually pull them aside, so you get a little peek of FDG back there, looking very coy. Now, if we tap to the left side of the screen again, she'll actually swap poses. So you can see here, she swaps to a little fingers to the mouth, and then hand in between her legs. And then tapping again, she gives a little peace sign with her left hand, and then tapping again brings it back to the default pose. So for each one of these poses, naturally you can tap and drag the curtain open to get a better look at her here. And for each one of these poses, it actually sets up the next interaction. So in her default pose, if you tap to the right, it'll open up and the curtains will reveal her in this pose with her arms raised over her head like so. And then if you tap again, we bust out the red ribbons, just wrapping her up like the gift that she is. And then if we tap again, there we go. She lifts up the leg, sticks the foot towards us. And from here, if you actually tap the foot, she'll actually press her soul against the screen, so you do see a little mark there. And if you tap her again, it zooms in and we'll go back to the default pose. So that was with pose 1 with the curtains drawn. If you tap again, this was pose 2. And now if I tap on the right side of the screen, it shows a completely different pose here. So here she is with her arm pressed against her chest. And if we tap her again, we get a nice little lean forward from her. Her eyes just start to have that slight glow to them, the blush across her cheeks. And if we tap again, we pull forward and then the screen darkens. Now the third pose where she has the victory sign up, if you tap the right, now it transitions to this pose right here. And if we tap, we get a little closer. She opens up her knees. And then there's a little light behind her, and then we zoom in for the close contact. Alright, so the next branching path from the default Live 2D screen, if you tap her chest, so her left, our right here, You see a little tiny something peek out from between her cleavage, like so. And from here, there's a number of different options. So if you just tap the red envelope there, pulls out a little money bag, and then with a little animation to it. And then from here, you can tap again. She reaches out towards us. Beautiful perspective, that little glint in her eye. And if you tap again, zooms right on target there. Right on target there. Alright, so the next branching path, if you pull again the little coin purse out and tap her chest again, you'll zoom right in to the chest region. So you do have a little variety there. Now, if instead of tugging out the coin purse, you decide to tap her face, or her head, here she changes her pose, kind of pulls her elbows together and pushes up her cleavage a bit. From here, you can tap again. She changes her pose once again, leans forward bewitchingly. And then tapping again, she busts out the ribbon and secures it around us, like so. And keep on tapping. She'll start tugging us forward. She's got a little sly look on her face, the licking her lips, gleam in her eye, and we tap again. She pulls us in close, and you see she's starting to feel it. She's got some steamy breath with the mouth open. And then tapping again, she pulls us in for the finisher. Alright, so back to the default Live 2D screen. The third branching path from here is if we tap to the right side of the screen. So tapping in here, we start to stroke her cheek gently and hold her face within our fingers here. And you can see the little counter to the left. So there's a little heart with a number in it. So tapping the number will create the interaction, and tapping the glove, or her, will change the number. So right now we're at number 1. We can tap the heart there. And you can see we go in for a cute little peck. There's a little spit string. Very nice. You can see there was a bar that started to go up on the right side screen. So our goal here is to raise her bar all the way up and raise her excitement level. So if we tap her glove, so if we tap the glove here, it transitions a bit. So you see slightly different pose, 2 on the heart. And if we tap the 2 on the heart, we go in for a full mouth kiss. The bar on the right is fully glowing now, and she's fully ready. If we tap the little emblem above the bar, it actually gets rid of the UI. If you would like to just kind of admire this view as it is, if you tap it again, it comes back. Now from here, if we tap the glove, you can see since the bar is fully filled up, now we have access to the third route. And there's a 3 with a glowing heart here. And if we tap the glowing heart, she starts to pull us forward. She's got those hearts, the heart pupils going, the hearts in her eyes. And you can see her softly start to stroke. And then if we tap again, here she is with the steamy breath, the open mouth, the heart pupils, ready to receive. And then if we click again, we go right in for the kiss, like so. And we can do that as many times as we want. And if we want to go back, all we have to do is tap her chest here, and then it'll zoom in, and then pull back to the default view again. Now that's certainly not the only thing you can do in this path. When the heart is glowing like this, if you tap on the bar, the fully filled bar on our right, it'll transition over here to another separate set of poses and interactions. So from here, if you tap her, she'll change and shift poses. So she has her hands at her sides here. If you tap each side, so if I tap the left side, or our left, her right, you can see she'll actually start to give a little foot rub here with that side that I clicked and tapped. If you tap her foot from here, she'll transition and get both feet in motion like so. And then if you tap her knees from here, it'll actually zoom in, or her chest region. And if you tap again, it zooms out. So it zooms in and out from there. That's the toggle. And then if you tap the other hand, or the other side, it'll swap kind of the rotation motion. And then if you tap her face from here, she'll swap back to the original pose. So now if I tap our right side, her left, again, she'll slide out her left foot this time, once again. And if you tap From here, you can also, just with the one foot, zoom in and out by tapping her chest region. But if you tap her foot, it just transitions again to the dual feet motion, right? So from here, if you tap her chest again, it zooms in, zooms out. And then if you tap her face, it goes back to the default. If from here you tap her chest, she'll lower her legs, and then like so. And then tapping again will transition to this series of different sort of dynamic poses that she has. So the camera actually zooms around, the rose petals flutter down. It's really beautiful and cinematic. It'll actually, if you let it just kind of idle, it just pans down her body line. Really nice. And so this is really great for just kind of like having as an option as your secretary lobby screen, right? Because it's constantly changing, which is really nice. If you tap again, it'll change to a different dynamic wallpaper mode. So she has a slightly different pose, like so. And then tapping once again transitions to yet a third different pose. All of them have their own charms that you can admire, of course. And then tapping again will come right back here. Alright, so once you're back to this pose, if you would like to go back and revert to the default pose, you can tap her head, and it will transition right back to the default Live 2D pose. Now, obviously, as a dual form skin, she does have a dynamic mode that you can swap to by tapping the toggle on the lobby HUD. So we'll tap it like so, the ribbons come flying in, and it transitions over to this very daring and provocative pose, where she is squatting. She's got the ribbon collar around us, and tugging, and this upward angle. Now, simply idling will bless us with her tugging us a little bit closer, licking her lips, like so. Now, from here, if you give her a little head pat, like so, we'll actually stroke her cheek just a little bit and move the hair from her view, but she gets heart pupils, she gets really excited, and gets a little drool going as the steam continues to come out. Yeah, so that's a pretty spicy animation. I'm surprised that there's no loop for this one. You gotta keep tapping, but it's worth the tap, that's for sure. And then the next interaction, actually. Now, if you tap her chest in dynamic mode, she'll get a little excited, and it'll actually swap entirely to a different dynamic mode pose. So here she is walking. You see her silhouette as she's going by the window or the door, and it's just a completely different pose. It's a completely different dynamic mode view and pose to enjoy for her. And if you tap, I'll follow your pace and lead you along the way, of course. Once you're inside, you are to strip. If you feel the cold, then come snuggle in my arms. Here is the warmest of ports for you, my child. Oh, I'm ready for that port. Alright, so from here, there's no other different interactions, I don't think. It's just, if you want to swap back to the other dynamic mode pose, all you have to do is tap her chest once again, and then it'll swap back right here like so. Little flash, the ribbons come in again, and then it swaps right back to the squatting pose like so. Now, naturally, there's also a little animation when you swap between dynamic and live 2D. Ribbons come in, the eyes start to glow, get a little pan up her like so, with the knees coming up, a little tease, and then a zoom back with the arms raised. Really just showing off all over the place. Friedrich der Grosse is a stunner as we step into this sanctuary of sinful indulgence, a boudoir bathed in steamy, amorous crimson. The deep scarlet bedding is peppered with these delicate petals, creating this lavish backdrop for the jaw-dropping view in front of us. Grosse's trailing hair is rich and night black, splayed out behind her and under her like a silken tide, framing her magnificent physique in a way that is truly enchanting. With every movement, Friedrich oozes sensuality with every undulating curve. Her amber gaze, glittering pools of this sultry seduction, feels almost palpable as she peers into our soul. Delicate feminine shoulders revealed through the dress. As she raises her hands, her underarms are exposed and smooth under the warm light. The deep cleavage of the dress is an absolute triumph. Ravishing red cloth is stretched to capacity, with side strings of her top struggling against her bountiful assets. Her heaving bust is nearly overflowing and is beautifully accented by the viridian lining. In addition to the variety of different poses we can indulge in her default look, switching to the dynamic mode enters this explosive and provocative perspective. She adopts a daring squatting pose that puts her decadent proportions on full display. Those luscious, meaty thighs are exceptional, and her honeyed skin has that glowing, buttery smooth look. And as she tugs on that collar, we heel in obedience. That steamy breath, that unwavering gaze, with the exception of when she gets a little too excited, and the mouth-watering quaking of her bulging softness, all carefully and expertly captured with the titillating angle and camera work. The cloyingly thin fabric of that amazing dress just clings and molds to her bodyline magnificently, highlighting every dip and valley, including her hips and her navel. As a dual form skin, there is a lot to explore and a lot to enjoy, and FDG certainly seems to appreciate and relish every step of the way. Absolutely entirely worth the gems for me. Alright, so that is going to do it for our showcase of the first set of skins for the Spring Festival Lunar New Year celebration. I recognize that this is super ridiculously, embarrassingly late, and we've got a couple of hours basically left of the shop, so I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to get this out sooner. It's just been it's been tough finding time to work on videos, unfortunately. Just been occupied by real life stuff, but that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and certainly let me know down below if you ended up picking up any of this set, which was your favorite of the batch, and if you ended up getting a lucky bag, you know, what did you get out of your lucky bag? Hopefully you got your main target when you opened up yours from the mailbox. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel for more AzurLane content. We thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, let's protect those waters.